Okay, once again, good morning, students. We came into our day 9, right? HVAC class, day 9. So, we were looking about the different methods of duct designing, and I have given you the homework about duct design. So, I believe that you have completed that, right? So, have you completed this? Have you completed the method? Two different method, velocity reduction method and equal friction method. Yeah, completed. Is there any doubt? You can just chat. Is there any doubt regarding that? I think there won't be much doubts. If possible, be able to on your video will be better. I can't see anyone. So if possible, I request everyone to on your video so that I can see and take the class. Okay. If it is difficult, no issues. If there is some technical issues or internet issues, never mind. So at node E, that size is 7 into 7. Yes. Right, 7 into 7. For velocity, yes, correct. 7 into 7. Yeah, because only that much amount of discharge is flowing now. Only 400 CFM is passing through that. So that might be enough. Okay. So what about Jacob, Vinu and all? Are you there or not? Anyways, I'm just going to deal with the next topic, and that is static regain method, in which you just need to know only the formula. That is enough, because we are not doing it in a practical way, but still you just know its formula. Okay, that's all. And today we'll be again dealing with chiller and AHU. Okay, let's see whether we'll be dealing with chiller, AHU, and all. Today we can deal with it. Okay, so before that, you just write about the static regain method, just the formula. That is enough, just for your understanding. Okay, I'm just sharing that. Afterwards, we can deal with chillers and all those things. Okay. So, second, please. One second. Okay, Jacob, no problem. If there is any network issues, no issue. Okay. Can you say this? Just write it down. Okay. Static regain method. I have already explained what is the static regain method. So just write that notes and write these formulas. That's it. So in this method, diameter of the duct is varied. The diameter of the duct is varied. So here also we need some knowledge, background knowledge about this duct designing. Okay. We need to have some experience. Then only we'll be able to do this with the static regain method. Or normally will be finding the duct size by the help of equal friction method. Okay, so go for it, equal friction method. So when coming to static regain method, in this method, diameter of the duct is varied. Okay, here the dynamic pressure or fitting losses are taken in consideration. In this method, we have to take dynamic pressure or fitting losses also. We have to take it in consideration. This is an alteration method. Okay, so we have three methods in which this is one of the method. Okay, here also the same formula is involved. Q is equal to A into V, FL equal to 0.109316 into Q raised to 1.9 divided by D I raised to 5.02. So here we already said that dynamic pressure or dynamic loss or fitting losses are taken in consideration. So here dl equal to dynamic loss equal to 1 minus r into pba minus pbb. This is velocity pressure. And last class we have already seen how to find the velocity pressure by using formula, right? So we have software also to find out the velocity pressure. I think in that sizer you have that properties now. In that property you will be getting the velocity pressure also. So this is the velocity pressure at one point minus velocity pressure at the another point. So PVA minus PVB. Okay. And next another one thing is pitting losses. Okay, or friction loss. So that formula is equal to TL equal to FL plus DL. FL means friction loss and DL means dynamic loss. So TL means total loss. So total loss is equal to friction loss plus dynamic loss. Okay. So this PV is been found out by the formula V by 4005 the all square. Okay. So what will be the regain is that this R into PVA minus PVB. Okay. So just write this definition and this formula. That is enough. This FL, DL, TL, okay, PD, everything is been written here. Okay, TL means total loss, FL means friction loss, DL means dynamic loss, PV means velocity pressure, R means it's a constant. So what is the condition here is that how much loss is happening, that much should be regained. Okay, with that loss we have to balance and we have to find the duct size. Okay? That's the main aim of the static regain method. So initially, we have to size the duct in such a way that how much the fitting loss is happening or the total loss is happening. According to that, we have to regain its total loss by changing its diameter of the duct. So we need some background knowledge or experience to do that. Once you finish writing this, let me know. Now, like I have already told you that we'll be studying the that designing by software method. Okay, so I will take that also today. So you can see this, right? This, you can see this symbol, right? Can you see my cursor? Yeah. So this is the symbol of our duct designing software. It's known as Macway duct designing software. So I'm going to own it. Okay, 1 second, please. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, please. So I am going to start this. Okay, yes, I'm going to click that. 1 second, I will on it. Please wait for a second. That is not getting. Okay. Okay, fine. So I will just share my screen. So when I am just opening this video, I'm sorry, this software, you'll be getting a window like this. Okay, can you see this window? Yeah. So you'll be getting something like this. Okay, this is our software. So here you have exit, print, clear, units, about like that. Okay, that all those things are there. Next you have the properties of air. Okay, 68 degree Fahrenheit, standard pressure, 55 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, 100 degree Fahrenheit, 120 degree Fahrenheit air. Okay, all these different options are there. You just give standard pressure. Okay, 68 degree Fahrenheit standard pressure. Okay, or you can give 75 degree Fahrenheit at 50 RH. Okay, whatever it might be. So that is the air that you are just considering. That is the air that is passing through this condition duct. Okay, so you are going to decide with that. Okay, there won't be any much difference when you are giving different types. Okay, okay. I am giving 75 degree Fahrenheit air at 50% RH at what atmospheric pressure. Okay, so you have different properties of air, fluid density, fluid viscosity, specific heat, energy factor. All these things are given automatically by this software. So we don't want to go through all those things, but we need to, what is our purpose? Our purpose is designing the duct. Okay. So I'm going to design a duct, which means that I want to get the dimension of the duct, width into height, or the diameter, whatever it might be. So first I need any two values. Listen carefully, I need any two values. One is flow rate, that is mandatory. This flow rate is mandatory. You have to give flow rate, then only will be able to get the duct size. The second thing is that you have to give any of these two values. Either you can give head loss or you can give velocity. Understood? Okay. If you are dealing with equal friction method, you just give head loss. Or if you are dealing with velocity method or whatever it might be, you can give velocity also according to the tabular column. Different applications are there, residents, private hospitals, all those things. You just choose which is your application. According to that, you can give a velocity here. If you give flow rate and head loss, you will be getting velocity, equivalent diameter, and duct size. If you are giving flow rate and velocity, you will be getting head loss, equivalent diameter, and duct size, and all its properties like equivalent diameter, flow area, fluid velocity. Okay. Reynolds number, friction factor. You can get velocity pressure also from this software directly. Okay, and the head loss also you'll be getting. Okay, so these are the properties of this. The air is passing through the duct. So for an example, if I am giving 1000 CFM, and I am deciding that I am going with an equal friction method. So I am giving 0. What was our range? What was our range of equal friction method? Just give a chat. What was our range? What should be the head loss that I should give here? What is the range and what should be the head loss that I should give here? Yeah, when you're saying that the range is between 0.08 to 0.12 inches of water column. Okay, so what can I give here? What should be my value that I have to give in the place of head loss? Yeah, yeah. So best you give 0.1. Okay, you give 0.1 inch of water column per 100 feet. So I'm giving 0.1. 0.1. So automatically I got the velocity, I got the equivalent diameter, and if I need to get the duct size, I have to give any value here. Just I have to give any value. If I give some value here, automatically another value will be given or shown in this place. Okay. So I got, when I give CFM with the head loss, I got the velocity and I got the equivalent diameter. So I am going to find if I am choosing a rectangular duct or a square duct. Let me see what is the duct size. So if I am giving 12 inch, okay, if I give 12 inch length or width, I get 13 inch height. So width should be always greater than the height. Okay, it's not necessary, but still. So if I am giving 9, one side is 9 and the other side is 19 inch. So when I am designing something, I have to make sure that my aspect ratio also should. I have to make sure that my aspect ratio should come closer to 1:1. It should not go beyond 4:1, and I have to make sure best aspect ratio is 1:1. So I will make sure that how can I make it closer to 1:1. So the best aspect ratio I will choose it. Understood? So when you are giving a number here, make sure that it should not have a great difference in the value. So 9, if I am giving 9 here, it becomes automatically 19 here. So if I am giving 10 here, I got 16. So if I am giving 11 here, I got 15. So if I give 12 here, I got 30. If I give 13 here, okay, automatically it will come as 12 there. So best I will choose for 13 into 12 inch. 13 inch width and 12 inch height. Because this is the value which is coming closer to the aspect ratio 1:1. In some cases, if I doesn't have a 12 inch gap between the false ceiling and the roof, what I will do? I will increase its width so that I can decrease its height. See, I can adjust it. I can adjust this height according to my need. And not only that, I have to make sure that it should not go beyond the 1:4 or 4:1 ratio. That also I have to keep it in mind. So if I have a space, if I have a sufficient space, you just go for a value which comes closer to aspect ratio. You understood what I'm saying? So what is the advantage here is that we can adjust it. We can adjust our dimensions. Okay? If you are using a circular duct, you will be getting the equivalent diameter as 14 inch, and you got all other values also. Flow area, friction factor, velocity pressure, head loss. Okay, you got all other values also here. All other properties of air. Okay, so if you want to choose, if you need to know what are the different properties, you can choose it directly from this software. Understood what I'm saying? So you can give the flow rate with head loss, or you can give flow rate and velocity. You will be getting the head loss and all those things. You can give any two values in which the flow rate is mandatory. Okay, so here you just see our duct size is in inch. So I want to convert that into mm. Okay, so I don't want to go for any converters. I can just directly convert this inch to mm in this software itself. So you can see here. So you can see the ribbon here. So here you can see units. So click on to that unit, and they will be asking, do you wish to change to SI metric unit? And if you are saying yes or no, y/n, you just give y and give OK. You will be getting its duct size in mm. And all other values changed, but still, if you want to get it in mm, you will be getting in mm. So 375 to 275. So let's see, if I am giving 350. So duct size, if I am giving 350, 300 will be my height. If I am giving 400, 275 will be my height. I am giving 300, 350. Okay. So better you go for 350 into 300. If I am reducing it, 250. See, it decreases. If I am giving 150, it goes to 825. So better bring back more, values, same, or let it come closer to 1:1 ratio. So better you go for 350 and you will be getting the height as 300. So if I am giving 400, you can see here 275. So when you get 275, you just round it and give us 300. Okay, so it's not a problem. Don't give 275 or 225 or 125 or 175 or like that. Just give the number as a round number, 50, 100. Okay, don't give 25 and 75. Okay. So when you get a values like something like 275, you just round it and give just 300. It's not a problem. Okay. So this is the duct sizer software. It's a very simple software. Just calculate the flow rate and give the head loss. So even if you are going with an equal friction method, give the head loss as 0.1 and you will be getting the duct size according to that friction loss. Or if you want to go with velocity, you can go with that also. So better you go with equal friction. So that is the very simple, method to find out the duct size. So this is the software. Okay. So you can use this. What is the doubt in this? Is there any doubt regarding this? Do we need to check head loss match? Head loss? Yeah, we have to look. We have to look the head loss. No, here we are finding the value. Here we are giving the head loss. Now, see, we are giving head loss. Then only we are finding it out. We are already giving the head loss and we are finding it out. We'll be getting the same head loss here itself. So we have to make sure that the head loss is 0.1. So here it is given as a more precise value, 0.099, which means that it is 0.1 itself. Okay, we have to consider the head loss if we are concentrating on head loss or friction loss. Okay, and make sure that it should come between 0.08 and 0.12. That you have to consider. And when you are designing it, you have to make sure that there should not be any greater variations in the head loss. Let it come between 0.08 and 0.12. It's not an issue, but better give it 0.1. But it was not matching the SI unit. SI unit means it will be changing now. When you change the unit, it will change, right? It is in inches of water column per 100 feet, right? It is in Pascal. Okay. When you change the unit, it will automatically change all other units. So this is the duct sizer software, and it's very simple. Just give the values. Just give the values. Give the flow rate, give the head loss, or give the flow rate, give the velocity, and you'll be getting all other values, its properties with the duct size. So if you want to change its unit, you can go here and you can change the unit in mm also. Why? Because normally we will be designing in mm or centimeter, like that. That's why we are going. That's why we are changing the units. Okay. So if you are designing in inches, you just directly take this value and give it in the design or CAD drawing. Okay. So I think there is. I will give you this software also and just work it out. Is it applicable for supply, return, fresher? Yeah, it is applicable for supply, return, and fresher. Just give 0.1. Anyway, we have to give any value now. Then only we will be able to give a duct size, right? So it will be applicable for all, all ducts. Now, we are going to deal with another topic, that is today we are dealing with uh, air handling unit. Then we'll be studying about uh, chiller also. Just chiller introduction. What is this chiller? Why we are using these chillers and all those things. We'll be studying about it. Okay. So initially, what is this AHU? Okay, I'm saying about this AHU. AHU means it's air handling unit. It's just the air conditioner unit. Okay, just the air conditioning unit. It's a very big unit. We'll be keeping it inside any room. Special room will be having, and we'll be keeping this air conditioner unit or air handling unit inside a room. So mainly if the ton or the capacity is very large, we have to give this air conditioner unit. We can customize it also. Okay. Uh, for centralized ACs and all, we will be using this air handling unit. Okay. So this air handling unit will be kept in a separate air handling unit room. From there, by the help of duct, it will be taken to the different locations through the duct, or the supply air will be taken through the different locations. So, for example, if you have a 20-story building, okay, and it's a big apartment or big offices in each floor, so you have to give the air conditioner to different offices or different places. So what we do, and in each floor, okay, most probably in each floor, if the area is very big or the application is very big, we'll be having this air handling unit. Okay, this air handling unit will be kept in an air condition room means uh, air handling room. Okay, and from there, by the help of that, it will be supplied to the different locations. Okay, so mostly we'll be having outdoor unit for that. Okay, mostly the outdoor unit will be chiller. There will be indoor unit. If there is indoor unit, there will be an outdoor unit. There are two types of systems. These days, we were studying about one system known as direct expansion system. We were having some refrigerant inside it. Like we have already discussed about R410A, R4110A, okay, HFC, okay, coming in that category. So you just imagine for an indoor unit, there is an outdoor unit, and the refrigerant is the primary fluid which helps to cool our air. Okay? And when categorizing the refrigerant, we can divide it into two types. One is direct expansion. Okay? Direct expansion means we'll be having a special type of refrigerant which is passing through it. That was we were dealing with it. The other type of system is known as chilled water system. Okay, in chilled water system, the refrigerant is chilled water. That is the second system. It's a chilled water. So the refrigerant is chilled water. If the refrigerant is chilled water, the outdoor unit is known as chiller. Understood what I'm saying? When the refrigerant is chilled water, the outdoor unit is known as chiller. If the refrigerant is normal direct expansion type, we could call our outdoor unit as a condenser also. Normal. We were dealing with condenser, evaporator, expansion valve, all those things now. So we were saying that evaporator was the indoor unit and the condenser was the outdoor unit, right? And the refrigerant that is passing through that system is known as direct expansion, or in short form we can call it as DX system. DX system. Okay, now leave that. If our refrigerant is chilled water, our outdoor unit is known as chiller. Understood? It is known as chiller. One second. Our outdoor unit is known as children. Okay. Now, this we were dealing with air handling unit. Okay. This air handling unit is the indoor unit which helps to uh, give conditioned air to your roof. So mainly in this air handling unit in AHU, there are mainly three equipments or three main systems. Okay, one is filter. We'll be having a filter. We'll be having a cooling coil or a heating coil, or we'll be having both heating as well as cooling. Understood? And one more thing, a blower, which helps to blow the air. So only these main three things will be there inside the air handling unit. One is the filter, which helps to purify the air. Then the cooling or heating coil, which helps to cool or heat the air. Then we will be having a blower, which helps to blow the air. Okay, so these are the main three things. Okay, so you can write a heading AHU, and you can write its full form, air handling unit. You can write its full form as air handling. AHU is air handling unit. And before that, you just write, okay, and write as it contains a fan or a blower, a cooling coil, as well as we'll be having a heating coil and an air filter. We'll be having air filter. Contains fan, cooling coil, and air filter. Okay, and write this definition. Okay, of AHU. It is an HVAC equipment. It is an HVAC equipment used for space cooling. Used for space cooling or space heating. Both you can use. In summer season, if you need cooling, you can give cooling. If in winter season, if you want heating, you can give heating also. So you'll be having a cooling coil as well as a heating coil. Understood? So it is an HVAC equipment used for space cooling or space heating. Understood? And what is the function of, or what is the function in AHU, or what is the function of AHU? What is the function of AHU? Controlling temperature, right? Important. Controlling temperature. Controlling temperature, controlling humidity. Another one is controlling humidity. And another one is dust control. Dust. We have filters, right? Dust control. Okay. So just see, this is just a diagrammatic representation of. This is just a diagrammatic representation of how the air is flowing through the AHU and coming return back. Okay. So from the AHU, you are giving a supply. You can see a small supply pipe, and you are giving it to a room. From there, the return air is going back through the return duct. Sometimes some air will be exhausted, and some air will be and some portion of the air will be taken back for recirculation. And you'll be having an intake also, a fresh air also will be there. This fresh air and this mixed air will be mixed in a mixing chamber. Then we'll be supplying back to the room. So this is the basic thing which is happening in the air conditioner unit. The supply will be there and it will be going to the room. From there, the air will be circulated and the return air will be passing through the return air duct, and some will be exhaust and some most of the proportion will be coming back to the through this duct, and it will be mixed with the return air as well as the fresh air, and again it will be giving back to the room. Okay, so this is the system. Now, what is this AHU? In AHU, in the real way, it looks like somewhat like this. Okay, it doesn't look somewhat like this. It looks like this. This is the AHU. Okay, this AHU will be divided into three. Okay, three chambers sometimes. Okay, this is the real AHU. When you are seeing its schematic, okay, when you see its schematic, as we have just discussed just now, there will be a supply fan, there will be a return fan. Okay, there will be a cooling coil as well as a heating coil. Chilled water will be passing through cooling coil, and hot water might be passing through heating coil. Okay, so the air is being passed through the cooling coil and through the supply fan. It is given into the room, and from the room it gets circulated, and the return air will be going back through the return fan, and there is an exhaust air. This is the exhaust air duct, and this is exhaust air damper. Okay, you can open it and close it manually as well as automatically. Here is outside air or fresh air damper. Here is a mixing air damper. So dampers means it's like a valve. You can close it and you can open it. Okay, according to our need, how many air that we need, we can just adjust it. Okay, we can make an adjustment and we can make how many proportions or how many percentage of air should come inside, or how many percentage of air should go outside or exhausted. That we can adjust by the help of this flow control dampers. Understood? So the return, by the help of return fan, this air is some percentage of air is coming back to this, and some percentage is being exhausted, and from this duct outside air is being supplied into this, and it will get mixed, and again it will be supplied to the room. So this is the inside of the AHU. Just see, okay. So air from the building or the return air is coming back, and the fresh air is coming from this duct, and return air is coming through this duct, and it will be get mixed in this mixing chamber. Then it goes to the filter, then it goes to the evaporator, or okay, then it goes to the fan, boiling fan, and it gives to the, sometimes it may heat, okay, and it will be giving back to the building. So these are the main things. Evaporator will be there, a filter will be there, and a fan will be there. Okay, this is a simple setup. Okay, simple thing, and this is the AHU. This is the thing which presents inside the AHU. Okay, so you just draw this. Okay, this one, AHU schematic. Just you have to know, and just give a box here also, and write it as a room. Yeah, room. So give arrow also. Give arrow to here, and give an arrow here. Give arrow here. Give arrow here, and give arrow here. Just draw this. This is an important thing, just to know what is happening. You want to draw this? No, better you draw this. Through here, a refrigerant in will be there and refrigerant out. It can be cold water or usual refrigerant also, you can do it. Here you can give hot water or steam or whatever it might be, you can give here also. So this is just the schematic of AHU. AHU in the sense how the air is being supplied, or how the air is being circulated through the AHU. It's been shown here. You can draw with your understanding, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to draw like this itself, but you can draw with your own understanding, but it should be correct, that's all. EAD means exhaust air duct, and it is exhaust air dampers, okay? EADA, exhaust air damper. OAD means outside air duct. This outside air damper. Once you finish, just give a thumbs up, okay? Okay. Now this is the air handling unit that we are dealing with. Here you have a cooling coil. This R2A outdoor part of AHU. Where is this R? Where you have seen this RTU? Yeah, rooftop unit means mainly this is a packaged AC unit. Okay, rooftop unit you'll be having, sometimes this will be kept on the roof. Okay, it will be kept on the roof. So mainly it will be calling it as rooftop AH, or commonly we will be calling it as rooftop air handling unit. Okay, some packaged AC, both indoor as well as outdoor, will be kept on the top. Some days the indoor unit like this AH will be kept on the top of the building. From there, it will be taken individually through the duct to the individual, flats or individual, rooms. So that is known as rooftop unit. So I think we have already studied about different types of air conditioners in the initial class itself. So I have said about this rooftop unit also, right? Rooftop unit is the indoor unit itself only, air handling unit itself only. Okay. Sometimes it will be calling it as rooftop unit also, because mainly this will be kept on the uh, body roofs. Okay. So so yeah. So this is the conditioned area. This is the chilled water to the chiller, and this is water from the chiller entering into the cooling coil and supply through the supply air duct. It is passing through the cooling coil, and by the help of fan, it will be giving back to the conditioned air. From there, return air will be going back and it will be giving back. It will be mixing here, and again it will be supplying, and the circulation continues like this. And they will be having fire dampers also. Okay, in case if there is any fire which occurs inside the room, it should not pass through the ducts. Okay, so ducts are very prone to, like, if some fire happens, this will be an isolated path through which the smoke can go even up to all the floors. If sometimes only one floor is affected because of this duct, it will affect all the buildings, because the duct is passing through all the buildings, all the flats, or all the floors. So in that case, as a safety measure, we should have fire dampers also. Okay, if it is connected to different areas. Okay, so we'll be having a damper motor for controlling these fire dampers. We'll be having a pressure switch to know the pressure difference between this. So if there is show some glass variations, we'll be able to know that this fan is chopped or this is not working properly. We'll be having this temperature sensors. Okay, supply air temperature, we can measure it. Okay, differential pressure switch is there. Cooling coil temperature, we can find it out. Okay, modulating valve, we can just modulate the valve, we can just adjust the flow of the water. Okay, BTU meter is there. Okay, this thermal unit meter. Okay, these are all, and we can just connect with the controlling also. We can just control with the controller. Okay, if it is an automatic thing, we can just control it by the help of an electrical controlling unit. Okay, everything we can automatically control it by the help of sensors and all those things. Okay, so let's leave it that. Now, this was the thing that we are dealing with, the air handling unit. And regarding this rooftop units and all, and someone asked about the doubts also regarding rooftop units. So uh, just write some notes about rooftop also. Just write AHU kept on, AHU kept on, rooftop, AHU kept on rooftop. AHU kept on rooftop with all its components, with all its components, with all its components. All its components in the sense VCC components, vapor compression cycle components, which means condenser, compressor, expansion valve, okay, evaporator, all those units, all those components, okay. Uh, inside a chamber, all its components. In bracket, you can, if you forget, you can write VCC, vapor compression cycle components. VCC components inside a chamber or a single unit inside a chamber is called RTU. Rooftop unit is called RTU. Sometimes you could call it as sometimes packaged AC also, okay, or packaged AC. Always this package AC won't be rooftop unit, but we could call it as a package AC also. It's called RTU. Okay, as I already said that this AHU is a big unit, but we have to keep it in one big room. We need a big space to keep this AHU because the capacity of that is very large and the air which is passing through that also will be large. The capacity of the AHU will be large. And mainly we will be using chiller or chiller as the outdoor unit and the chilled water as the refrigerant. But in some residents and in some flats, okay, in some villas, uh, people will be living inside there will be air conditioners inside their bedrooms and living rooms, okay, and their dining rooms, wherever it might be. So you cannot go and keep all AHUs in their room. Okay, that is not possible. So if they can use a common AHU and they can use it in by the help of a duct. They can pass to these different rooms. That is not a problem, but still, because this is a big unit, right? So if there is a chiller, if there is a common chiller for their locality, for example, for their villa, there is a common chiller. Okay. Uh, you could place an indoor unit through which you could pass the chilled water refrigerant. Okay, and the indoor unit that you need to place in that situation is known as FCU. It is a compact size of AHU. AHU is a bigger unit. So if you want to reduce it in a smaller unit, you could call it as FCU, fan coil unit. And the specialty of this fan coil unit is that the refrigerant that you will be passing through this fan coil unit is chilled water. Okay, you can pass chilled water through this fan coil unit. You understood what I am saying? So we could call this as a compact AHU. So this compact AHU, which is known as FCU or fan coil unit, you can keep it inside your bedroom. Instead of this usual DX type, you could use this this type of air conditioners like fan coil unit, through which chilled water will be passing through their coils. Understood? So you can write compact AHU is known as, is called as a FCU. Compact AHU is called FCU, fan coil unit. Compact AHU is called FCU, fan coil unit. And you know this in AHU there will be two blowers. Okay, it could have two blowers. One is the supply blower and well as the return blower is also there. One is to supply and one is to grasp the air from the other side to inside. So you will be having two blowers. In FCU you will be having only one blower. One side will be blowing, the other side it will be catching it. Application of AHU means wherever you can use. In big malls you can use. Okay, in malls you can use AHUs. In a big auditorium, if you want, you can use AHU. If the capacity is very large, okay, you could use that. And you can see there are different like malls or something like you could use it airports. There are different segments inside the airport itself. Sometimes that will be cafeteria, sometimes that will be offices, sometimes that will be a vacant space. So different applications will be there in such big area. So there you could use an AHU also. They'll be having a chilled water system, and you'll be having AHU will be kept in a AHU room. From there you could distribute it. Okay, those are the applications. Okay. Yeah. Now, FCU, right? This also FCU consists of only blower, filter, and cooling coil. Yeah, I will explain that. I will explain that. HCU consists of only blower, filter, and cooling coil. Fan coil unit consists of only blower, filter, and cooling coil. Okay. And in AHU, you'll be having more than one filters. Okay, you'll be having more than one, blowers. Okay, so why? Because it's a big unit. That's why the air which is being carried out in that AHU is large. Okay. Now, Vinu asked me a question like, what is the difference between FAHU and normal AHU? FAHU means, as the name implies, it is known as fresh air handling unit. Okay, it is known as fresh air handling unit. It's a special type of air handling unit in which we'll be setting that fresh air handling units in some critical rooms like hospitals, ICUs, and all. We'll be keeping there only. Okay, and the filter that we'll be using in fresh air handling unit will be mainly that HEPA filter only, HEPA filter only, because these critical rooms like hospitals, ICUs, and all, you need pure air. Okay, and you will be using a special type of filter there itself, and there won't be any recirculation inside that room. Here we are taking recirculation. In AHUs we are taking recirculation. There will be return air, there will be supply air, there will be mixing air, everything will be there, and there will be a recirculation. In FAHU, what is the specialty of fresh air handling unit is that there won't be any return air. All the air will be exhausted outside, and the fresh air from the outside will be taken through a filter, and it will be directly passing through the air. Okay, there won't be recirculation in fresh air handling unit. So write that also. AHU which make use of fresh or outside air, or fresh or outside air only. Fresh air or outside air only. Fresh by exhausting AHU which make use of outside or fresh air only by exhausting the return air completely. By exhausting the return air completely, is called FAHU. Is called FAHU. It's called FAHU. Bracket we can write fresh air handling unit. Fresh air handling unit. And you can write its applications. Used in hospitals. And other critical clearing rooms. And other critical clearing rooms. Shepherd is asked that what should be the percentage of fresh air is accepted in AHU. See, when we are calculating this, we have already seen a problem in the initial class. We have done a problem in the initial class. To give a CFM, pressure capacity, we have already seen. We have given a 200 square feet room with number of people. Okay, With that we have given the fresh air. We have given only the fresh air. Okay. And when we are giving the percentage of fresh air, it depends upon the application also. There is a, there's a chart, okay, and for different application we could give a different, supply air. Sometimes it will be 5 CFM per person. It goes like that. Sometimes it will be 10 CFM per person. In HAB software, I think that there is an option to give according to the application. We could just calculate it and we could give it into the room. So you will be having, you will be knowing this much percentage or this much CFO should be given to the fresh air. Okay, then that only will be mixed. Only small proportion of the air will be given as a fresh air only. Okay. Majority will be the return air itself. Okay. If you want to adjust, you can adjust by the help of dampers. If you want to increase its percentage, you could open the damper, it will be more higher. Okay. According to that also you can adjust it. Okay. Now, coming to the now coming to the types of AHU. Okay, types means we could call it as different classification of AHU. You can call it as a different classification of AHU. Just write again types or classification of AHU. Yeah, let's see. If it's possible, I will show you. Okay. Now, types of AHU. First one, classification based on discharge. Now, classification based on discharge. Okay. And now you can customize this AHU also. Okay. According to your need, according to your ton and CFM, you can customize this AHU also. Okay. You can go to the manufacturer and you can just customize it. And that's why we have different types. Classification based on discharge. Okay. First one is classification based on discharge. You'll be having horizontal AHU. You'll be having horizontal. I will show you my notes. That's one. Uh, Classification based on discharge. This is a horizontal AHU through which you could give the return air to this side and you can give the supply air to this side. There is a vertical also. You could give here as well as you could give the air towards the top. So that is the most type of discharge or based upon different types of AHU. You could give the air, supply air and return air horizontally as well as you can give it vertically. So you can draw this based on discharge. Last day I have shown you a big hole and different units now. That is one type of AHU. Okay, I have shown you the supply, return as well as the fresh air, and it gets mixed up and it is been giving back. That is also one type of air handling unit. Okay. Now that is one is based on discharge. Now the second one is based on fan position. Sometimes you can have a blow through and a draw through. Blow through means the fan will be initial and then there will be filter. And through the fan, the air is go on through the filter. Next one is first there will be filter, then there will be a fan. That is draw through. Second thing is based upon fan position. You have two types. These are the different types of AHUs based upon fan type, different upon discharge. Okay. Next come based on skin type. Skin type means just the outer covering. Okay, the outer covering. It will be a single skin or a double skin. Okay, mainly the indoor unit will be a single skin and the outdoor unit will be mainly double skin. Okay, it's cover. Okay. Which one is more efficient? Both are efficient. Okay, depending upon the fan, it doesn't mean like it is efficient or not efficient, but we can change its filter position. Okay, sometimes this will be given for the supply, and this will be given for the you know return fan. We cannot say that which is more efficient. I think this fan might be more efficient. Draw through might be more efficient. A different application, or for example, different application we will be using. That is according to our need only. We are customizing it. Okay? Some days we might be having a draw-through fan, or some days we want some days a draw-through fan. Okay. If it is sometimes like a small FCU, better you go for this draw-through one. Okay. So mainly we will be focusing on supplying it. Right. Then comes to this AHUs and all, DKHUs and all, we'll be using these both fans. So for the return, you use this, and for the supply, you use this. Okay, that's according to our visually what we need. Now, based upon skin type, single skin indoor and double skin outdoor. Then last one, is it over? This one over? This one over? Yeah. Now, based upon primary refrigerant, this I will give you another. Write this too, okay? Based upon primary refrigerant that I have already explained about this. Based upon primary refrigerant. One is DX unit, direct expansion unit, and another one is chilled water unit. Write these two, and next I will show you what is that. So, DX unit, you know it, right? DX unit, you know it. There will be indoor unit, there will be outdoor unit, and the refrigerant will be passing through that. And coming to chilled water unit, you will be having two types, okay? One is air cooled chiller, and one is water cooled chiller. Okay. Now you just see 1 second, please. Now just see the chilled water unit, direct expansion unit. Okay. In this DX unit, I will just teach you this, then I will show you the graphs also. Graph means something good. Let's see this. If you don't understand this, you won't be able to know it. Okay, just listen and just then you write it. Now, this is the room. You take this as the room. Okay, from the room, a warm air will be flowing through the AH. You should be able to know the cycle. Okay, this is we are talking about DX unit, a normal DX. Okay, indoor and outdoor unit. Okay, this is the indoor unit, air handling unit. To the air handling unit, warm air will be coming and it enters the air handling unit through the cooling coil, it converts to cold air. So it will be circulating like this. So this how to convert this warm air to cold air? The warm air is converted to cold air by the help of a refrigerant that is flowing through the cooling coil inside the air handling unit, right? Okay. So what happens? A cold refrigerant comes in contact with the warm air, and what happens? The warm air will be converted to cold air. The heat of this warm air will be absorbed by this cold refrigerant. So what will be happening to this cold refrigerant? It will be converted to hot gas refrigerant. We have already studied about the vapor compression cycle, right? That's what happening here. So it goes back to the condenser. Condenser or the outdoor unit. So this hot gas refrigerant has to be converted to cold refrigerant. So usually you'll be having two types. One is water cooled and one is air cooled. Normally we have seen the air cooled type only. So you'll be seeing the fan outside the condenser or outside the outdoor unit. You'll be seeing a fan. So which means that that is an air cooled one. So for example, if you are using water cooled one, what happens? Instead of fan, water will be passing through some holes inside the condenser also. So this is cooling tower. The water will be getting from the cooling tower and it will be passing through the condenser. And this cold water absorbs the hot gas refrigerant, heat. And this cold water will be converted to hot water. And this cooling tower will be converting this hot water to cold water. So just imagine this thing. This is a DX unit. Air handling unit is there. Warm water will be converted to cold air. Warm air will be converted to cold air by the help of cold refrigerant that is passing through the AHU. When the warm air transfers its heat to the cold refrigerant, it will convert to hot gas refrigerant. This hot gas refrigerant has to be converted to cold refrigerant through a condenser. How it is being converted to cold refrigerant? By the help of a cold water. Okay, this comes from the cooling. This cold water absorbs the heat from the hot gas refrigerant, and this cold water will be converted to the hot water, and this circulates like this. So here, warm air will be converted to cold air. It will be circulating like this through the room. Now, the hot gas refrigerant will be converted to cold refrigerant. It will be circulating like this. Now, the cold water from the cooling tower will be converted to hot water and it will be circulating like this. So this is a cooling type. That's why it is shown as cooling tower. If it was an air cooled, there will be only a fan here. This is the DX unit. When it comes to chilled water unit, I'll give time to write. An extra thing will be there. A chiller also will be there. Here only a condenser was there. Here what happens, a chiller also is there. So listen carefully what happens here. Warm air will be converted to cold air by the help of water or by the help of chilled water or cold water from the chiller. Okay. Now you have to keep it in mind that this chiller is a package of this chiller as well as this condenser. This chiller, what I have written here, plus this condenser, this together only, actually it is known as chiller, okay? This both comprises of chiller. In this chiller, there is a condenser. That's what I meant. Inside a chiller, there is a condenser. this setup plus this setup, this total is known as chiller actually. Okay, so let's see what happens. The warm air, the heat will be absorbed by this cold water. So this cold water will be converted to hot water. Okay, this hot water again has to be converted to chilled water by the help of a refrigerant inside the condenser. There is a refrigerant inside the chiller, or which means there is a refrigerant inside the condenser, and that refrigerant helps to convert the hot water to cold water. Understood what I am saying? So that refrigerant will helps to convert the hot water to cold water. So the cold refrigerant will be converted to hot gas refrigerant. Then this hot gas refrigerant will be converted to cold refrigerant by the help of cold water from the cooling tower. So here an extra setup known as condenser is there. And you have to keep it in mind that in the chiller, a refrigerant is being used to convert the warm water into chilled water. So this chiller plus condenser is actually a this two setup combined, and it is known as a chiller. Understand what I am saying? So here an extra setup is there which is known as condenser, which produces cold refrigerant. What is the use of this cold refrigerant? The use of this cold refrigerant is chilled water or the hot water should be converted to chilled water by the help of this refrigerant. Understood what I am saying? Okay. So you can write or you can draw this, or I will show you another. So the mail will be coming in this way. Or better you write that when I am taking this chiller, I will show you this. Okay, I think my note is better to write. Write this BX unit and write this. Here the chiller and condenser will be a single unit with two operations. Okay, chiller and condenser will be of a single unit with two different operations. So if you get an idea about this, you'll be able to see what is happening inside an air conditioner, or what is the system. So you should be able to know this. What is the cycle which is happening, or what is the circulation which is happening inside this? You should be able to know this. So if you have completed this, let me know. CT means cooling tower, okay? It's cooling tower. Mainly we'll be having only, usually we'll be using only air cool type, okay? In case if we want this water cool type, we will be using cooling tower. It will be in different locations and all those things. This mostly we'll be using air cool type. Yeah, this condenser means outdoor unit only. In BX unit, this condenser is the outdoor unit. In chilled water, the outdoor unit is chiller. Okay. In DX unit, the outdoor unit is known as condenser. In chilled water also the outdoor unit is known as condenser, but as the name implies, because of the chilled water, we could call it as chiller. And not only that, in this chilled water unit, we will be having this two setup. This will be having two different operation of a single unit only. Usually, this chiller plus condenser is actually called as chiller. Okay, but you will be having two different operations. Yeah, it is applicable for this cooling tower is applicable for DX system also, but mainly we'll be having only for but mainly we'll be using only air cooled condensers. Okay, but in some applications, in some areas, if you need water cooled, you could use this cooling tower is a big it's a big like it's a big thing. Okay, so mostly we'll be using in small things we'll be using only this air cooled condensers. Cooling tower is a big it's like a building. It's like a big building. We have air cooled chiller also. Okay, we having air cooled chiller and water cooled chiller. We'll be having air cooled DX unit and water cooled DX unit. In most of the cases, we won't use this cooling tower in this DX. Okay, only in a rare cases, very rare cases. DX unit have two types. Or two types. DX unit will be having two types. Okay, like air cooled as well as water cooled also will be there. Most common and most common used one is air cooled. Once you have finished writing this, let me know. So guys, study this. Okay, this is important. Just see what is happening inside this. What are the different systems? What are the different circulations which is happening inside this? That you need to know it. For your better understanding, I will show you another one. It will be helpful for you. Let's see. Can you see this? Can you see this slide? Yeah. You can. This is our cooling cycle. Okay. This is our cooling cycle. Based upon what I have teach right now, would you able to understand this diagram? Just go through it. This is our cooling cycle. Mainly, this happens in chilled water system. Can you recognize what is happening inside this? You could see some balls has been rounding like this. You could see evaporator, compressor, condenser pump. You can see cooling tower. You can see AHU unit. You can see a room. Can you recognize what is happening inside this? Can identify it? Can someone can explain what is happening inside this? If someone can explain, you can just give a thumbs up. I will allow you to just explain this. Just give a brief idea. That's enough. This is what just I have told you. That's all. Can anyone can anyone give a brief idea what is happening inside this? Inside this cooling? You can just dictate. Just I will allow you to just speak. Don't be shy and all. It's wrong also, no issue. I will just help you. Still water system that we understood. I'm asking you that whether you will be able to give a brief idea about this. What is happening? What are the cycles happening? No one? Simple thing, na. Just I have told you this thing about the chilled water system. What about Vinas? To be able to. Okay, I think Kirti can answer it. Let me see. I will just I'll allow you to.
So this is like cold air enters the AHU. Air flows inside the room, like to the AHU. Then it goes to
What
the
what,
condenser.
what that what that orange bowl shows?
Sorry.
What that orange bowl shows? You can see here, na? Inside the room.
Yeah, it is the air circulation inside the HU unit, in which the cold air, cold air goes out and the warm air enters.
Okay.
Then this from this AHU unit, this hot gas, means the hot air goes to the refrigerant, like condenser part.
Is it like that? What is happening inside? What is happening here? Here. What is happening this? What is happening here in this blue balls?
This chilled water pump and evaporator.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, speak.
Mm, um, the hot air, I mean the warm air from the HU unit, in order to change its state, it goes to the chilled water, goes through the chilled water pump.
Chilled water pump is a equipment used to supply the water from chiller to AHU. That's all. Okay? It's a
Yeah,
medium.
using the like water as the water as a tool to what change the state of water, like cool the water, cool the refrigerant.
Yeah, correct. Cool the refrigerant. Cool the air, right?
Yeah.
The air is being just circulating like this.
Mhm.
The air from the room is coming into the AHU and cold air is going back to the room. Okay.
Yeah.
So through this, chilled water is being circulating. Understood? By the help of a chilled water pump. You could see this an evaporator, right? This
Mm.
through this evaporator, see all these are heat exchangers. Okay, this is an heat exchanger. This is a heat exchanger. This is a heat exchanger. This is a heat exchanger. Heat exchanger is nothing but heat is just exchanging.
Okay.
Understood? So here air is circulated through the air handling unit. Okay. Now you can see at this position what happens. This hot or warm air get contact with the chilled water inside this.
Mm.
What happens? So that time what happens? The hot, the warm or the hotness of this air is been absorbed by this chilled water. Okay.
Okay.
So
Heat
this
exchange happens,
heat
right?
exchange happens. So that hot, warm air is being converted to cold air and it is being
Right.
supplied through this fan. Cold air is supplied through this fan and warm air is being absorbed by this fan. So what
Okay.
happens? Then what happens? This chilled water is going through this now.
Yeah.
So this chilled water absorbs the heat from this
Hot.
air, hot air. That's why it reduces it. That's why it is converted to cold air.
Right.
But what happens to the chilled water? It just converted to warm water.
Yes.
Why? Because the warm
It receives the heat from the air.
air. Now, what this evaporator should do, or this chiller system should do? Again, it has to come back to the chilled water
State.
state, chilled
Yeah.
water state. So, a heat exchange is happening here also.
Mhm.
Understood? How this warm water will be converted to chilled water is that by the help of a refrigerant that is flowing through
Compressor.
this compressor, this condenser, and this evaporator,
Condenser
this
evaporator.
BCC component.
Okay.
So this is a cold refrigerant. This pink, this magenta ball is a cold refrigerant, and refrigerant is circulating like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the warm water, the hotness of the warm water will be absorbed by this pink color refrigerant, cold refrigerant. So what happens to the pink color cold refrigerant? It will convert to vapor, and it will be going to the compressor, and again it will be coming to the condenser, and it will be coming to the normal stage called refrigerant. Understood?
And there the evaporation happens, right? So evaporation in the sense, the hot
Evaporation.
air.
This evaporation in the sense evaporator. This is the supply. Or what happens? We have three components, na? Or four components: evaporator, compressor, condenser, and the expansion valve. Right? Understood what I am saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So just think about this. This is refrigerant passing through this.
Okay.
This cold refrigerant should be converted to hot refrigerant. Okay, this
Mm-hmm.
is already converted to hot refrigerant by this hot water. Now this hot refrigerant should be converted to cold refrigerant by the help of this cooling tower. Through this cooling tower,
Okay.
water is flowing like this. So there is, how many circles are there? One circle here, one circle here, two, third circle here, and fourth circle here. So here what happens? Cold air is converted to hot air.
Okay.
Now here what happens?
Water
Cold,
cycle.
cold water is converted to hot water. So what happens here? Cold
Hot.
refrigerant is converted to hot refrigerant here. Now
Mm.
what happens here? Cold water is converted to hot water here. So one more thing, hot or heat from the air is absorbed here. Heat from the chilled water is being absorbed here, and heat from the refrigerant is absorbed here, and heat from the water is absorbed here. That's all. All heat exchange is happening.
Okay.
So can you explain this once more?
Yes. Over the HU unit, there will be like hot air. This hot air, when it passes through that fan part, there will be an exchange of hot to cold air from the water from chilled water pump. So in that cycle, in which the blue line goes, the cold water there, as it supplies the hot air to cold air to AHU, it becomes a hot water over that blue part. And as that is hot now, with the help of the refrigerant over that light blue part, it gets converted into cold water, whereas the refrigerant get hot. So in the second cycle, like where compressor and condenser is there, it's a refrigerant cycle in which the refrigerant exchanges the heat. Like refrigerant provides refrigerant makes the water back to the cold state, whereas the refrigerant itself get heated up like into hot state. Then in the cold tower again, the water helps to cool the refrigerant. I mean, in that first part, in the cooling tower part, it will be the water part, like water exchange happens, then refrigerant, again water, then again air.
So that's all. Okay, just you need to know what are the cycles or circulation which happens in different things. And one more thing, yeah, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. 1 second, please. Can you hear me right now? Am I audible? Okay. Now, one more thing, like one more thing was, this section and this section combinedly called as chiller. Okay, this plus this. Usually, this total unit is known as actually chiller. But two operations is been happening. One is the chilled water is converted to hot water, and here the hot refrigerant is converted to cold refrigerant. This two happens inside the chiller with two different operations. Okay, so this evaporator part and this condenser part, both it is known as both combinedly it is known as chiller. Okay, so that also you have to keep it in mind. Now, so write one difference also, difference between DX unit and chilled water unit. With that we can pause it today and we could study a little bit more about chiller tomorrow. write the difference between chilled water unit and DX unit. First you write DX unit, then you write chilled water. First, in DX unit, first one you write efficiency is high. Efficiency is high. Coming to chilled water unit, efficiency is less. Next comes to DX unit, limitation in pipe length. See, when you are doing with this DX pipe sizing, a refrigerant has been flowing through that. So when you are taking different brands, they will be showing maximum this should be the length, or maximum this should be the height difference between the indoor and the outdoor unit. Okay, because the refrigerant has been passing, and that refrigerant, liquid refrigerant, will be converted to vapor. So we cannot take this refrigerant to a longer distance. There is a limitation in the pipeline. Okay, and we could not give a big capacity compressor also, because this compressor is helping to flow this refrigerant, helping to circulate this refrigerant between the indoor and the outdoor unit. So when coming to DX unit, there will be a limitation in the pipeline. Okay, I think you will be having a maximum height difference of 5 meter or 7 meter, something like that, and the maximum distance of 30 meter or something like that, it seems. So I need to check the catalog once more. So when it comes to DX unit, that there will be a limitation in the pipe length. But when it comes to chilled water unit, there is no limitation in pipe length. Why? Because the refrigerant that is passing through, that is water, chilled water. So by the help of a good capacity pump, can pump it to a longer distance in that case. So right, in DX unit, limitation in pipe length. Chilled water unit, no limitation in pipe length. No limitation in pipe length. In DX unit, right, pump cannot be used. Pump cannot be used. DX unit, pump cannot be used since refrigerant is in gaseous form. Since refrigerant is in gaseous form, pump cannot be used since refrigerant is in gaseous form. Chilled water pump can be used to make up pressure due to water refrigerant. Pump can be used to make up pressure. Pump can be used to make up pressure due to water refrigerant. DX unit less preferred. DX unit less preferred. Chilled water unit highly preferred. Chilled water unit highly preferred. If someone asks you what is the difference between chilled water and the DX unit, you could be able to answer it. Okay. So these are the some of the difference between DX and chilled water unit. And write as a note where we will be using this chilled water. Chilled water is commonly used in malls. Chilled water is commonly used in malls, multiplex, airports, hospitals, etc. DX unit and chilled water unit, the difference is, the last point difference is less preferred. It's less preferred when it comes to DX unit. When it comes to chilled water unit, it is highly preferred. As a note, you can write chilled water is commonly used in malls, multiplex, airports, hospitals, etc. More we could study, you can study a little more about chillers. Okay. What are the types of chillers? How to find the flow rate? What are the different arrangements of chillers? Okay. And we could study about the pipe sizing also by software, as well as we could study about manual pipe sizing, DX pipe sizing, as well as chilled water pipe sizing. We could study tomorrow. Okay. So regarding today's topic, is there any doubt? You can clarify today. Is there any doubt regarding today's topic? So here we have studied about AHUs, functions of AHU. Okay, different types of AHU. We have studied about fan coil unit, rooftop unit, fresh air handling unit. Right? We have studied different types of classification of AHUs. And we have studied different difference upon the primary refrigerant like DX unit, chilled water unit, how it is being, how the cycle is being circulated. Through that we have studied. We have gone through different uh, uh, difference between the chilled water unit and the DX unit. We have found out. Not only that, we have seen duct sizing software also. We have seen duct sizing software. What are the how to duct size? Okay, we have seen that also. Okay. And regarding today's topic, is there any doubt? You can just clarify it right now. We have three to 4 minutes. Let me see. Okay, let me see whether I'll be able to show the fresh air handling. Basically, that will be coming in hospitals only. So, if possible, I will show you. Or let me see. Selection of AHU, it is coming. It is coming. Let me show you. Equipment selection is there. Selection of AHU. It's just a software in which you have to give the uh, what is the supply air temperature, return air temperature. Okay. According to that, you can choose they will be giving the ton, how much ton you need. Okay. It's an equipment selection software. Basically, we'll be calculating how we are doing is that we will not be going for any equipment selection also. We'll be calculating what will be our capacity and directly we'll be choosing that capacity only. Okay. And this equipment selection will be provided by different manufacturers according to their companies only. Okay. They will be having different standards. Okay. Standard in the sense they will be having different capacities. Okay. And what we do is that we'll be calculating our capacity by the help of HAT software, and we'll be seeing that whether they will be whether their model is there. If I get a 10 chilled water or a 10-ton unit, I'll be seeing whether they will be having a 10 TR, chiller. Some days they won't be having 10 TR. Some days they'll be having only 12 TR. According to their model or their capacity and their specification, they'll be giving their equipments. That's all. Let me see. That also I will teach. Okay. So if there is no doubts, just give a thumbs up. So we can mind it up. And what about Kirti? I have sent you the video links. Will you be able to see your video links right now? I have given to the mail also. What about others? Are you able to see the videos that I am giving you daily? Yes. For Vinu, it is yes. Jacob also yes. I think only there is a problem with not yet. I have already sent the video link to your personal mail also. Just kindly check all. Okay. I don't know what is happening with you. Huh? Okay. Yesterday itself I have sent it. Okay. On all the video links. Kindly check it. If there is any problem, just let me know. Okay. So I think there is no doubt regarding this today's topic. So we can wind it up. So thank you, students. Just go through it. Okay. Go through the video also. Okay. Thank you so much.